What's up, everybody? It is Zach of Darkon Entertainment, and I'm here to give my thoughts on Dune Part 2 that I saw this last Monday with my sister in theaters. I would have got to this sooner, but life just got away from me. I mean, what can I say about it? But suffice to say, I liked it, but I don't think I liked it quite as much as Part 1. Why exactly would that be? Could possibly be because that the experience wasn't as fresh for me as first entering the theater to see part one as compared to this. I mean, it was still good, but all the same. Could also be that the one criticism that I heard from a critical drinker that I think being valid, that the Harkonnens, they were not portrayed as quite as much as the unstoppable force, unstoppable, conniving, and really, really, truly competent force that they were in part one. I don't know if I want to say that they were like incompetent or anything like that. Like they were still like a force to be reckoned with, just maybe not quite as much. And also, I don't think I really care that much for Christopher Walken's portrayal of the Emperor. Then again, I do not know via lore or even comparison to the David Lynch movie all that well. For comparison's sake on how good that Christopher Walken might have done. I mean, he was there. He was serviceable, I guess. Kind of the same opinion that I have about Princess Irulan. Like, what's more to say about her? I mean, she was just a character that helped to move along the plot, especially towards the end there, when she like yeah. Anyway, trying to avoid spoilers here. Could also be because that I really liked Leto Atreides and Duncan Idaho, the fact that they were present in part one, and not to mention the interaction and relationship that they had with Paul Atreides. I mean, of course, it kind of comes with the property because by the end of part one, they were both dead, and of course, as per according to the book, they would be dead by the time of Paul like coming to rise up against the Emperor and the Harkonnens and all that stuff. Could also be because that I found the action scenes to be kind of that they kind of ended a little bit abruptly. At least two of them, anyways, that I will not spoil. And also it's come to really set for me that both in this movie and in part one too, for that matter, that I haven't mentioned before. I don't think until now. I really don't care for Dave Bautista's portrayal of the Beast Urban. It's just really like kind of wooden and over the top at the same time. On the flip side, getting to the good stuff, the Baron Harkonnen is still intimidating as much as he was in part one as a character by himself, even though a person might point out that he does not play it quite as smartly as in part one, but still, like I said, as a character by himself, he's still pretty intimidating for a fat blob, as much of a fat blob would be, anyways. And also, Timothy Chalamet's performance as Paul Atreides. Like, I do really like part one a little bit better for the fact that Paul Atreides felt more human, but per according to the lore, it would be that he would like become just a little bit more and more progressively out of touch as the story would go along. But the way that Paul just portrayed the way that Timothy Chalamet performed him, and also the way that the cinematography played side by side with his performance, it just really delivered on how much of an imposing and kind of intimidating force that the character Paul Atreides is supposed to be. Like, per according to the books, it's said that with his mastery of the voice and all that stuff, that he's supposed to be like this very intimidating, imposing like a force for people to be interacting with or whatever. But I never really got it like fully delivered to me. The brevity of his character delivered to me listening to Quinn's ideas, like readings of the lore or anything else like that. So this movie, but this movie really sold it. Like, I was watching the movie and I was all like, shit, I wouldn't want to like get in an argument with this guy, I don't think. And not to mention Aaliyah, the sister of Paul Atreides, the way that she was portrayed was very creepy and unnerving, and that was very well executed. Part of it might have been also be because of the kind of uncanny special effects that they used to portray her for the sake of this movie. But regardless, the way that the whisper, the telepathic like whispering and all that other stuff is like it just really sold me on the build up for Aaliyah's character. Zendaya as Chani was a pretty sympathetic character as like in part one. Well, actually in part one she wasn't shown that much, but in this movie she had more time to shine, and she was pretty much the sympathetic character of the entire movie. And Gurney Halleck was a kind of a it was an interesting relationship interaction that he has with Paul developing it throughout the story. And Stilgar was a kind of fun and quirky character in his own right, for an old man, that is, at least anyways. The way that he would like always just fawn over Paul, it's just there's something kind of funny and a little bit fun to watch him, like the way that he just fawns over Paul just a little bit. And all the special effects was pretty epic and just a standout as well. Like there was this one panning shot of where that the Emperor's ship comes up, and you're just looking up at it, and it was like a really great scene right there. And really, all the special effects for all the scenery was pretty good, which even though that I don't care that much for the scenery of the desert, it was still like a pretty to look at. Like Disney, take notes. Dune, Denis Villeneuve specifically, and his production team really know how to utilize the full mastery of special effects much better than you do, Disney. So watch this movie and take notes on how to do that. And also the inventiveness of the action as well. Not to mention of how that this movie continues to shine with how that an explosive projectile would be shot at a vehicle with shields or whatnot, and it would just like would try to like cut through the shields, but it would get stuck by the shield as it was still trying to propel itself forward. That still like excels at trying to like sell the phase shields or whatever exactly they're called, those types of shields in the Dune universe. Those were pretty good, and just the I really liked that the machine guns as well for this movie. They were kind of cool. Just a lot of the weaponry was still cool. That they even like used guns a little bit more often. I mean, that might be a little bit of a disloyalty to the Dune lore, but I don't know. Just me personally, I still liked it regardless. And Austin Butler as Fade Rotha was a pretty intimidating character as well. Just really sold on how much of a despicable, evil bastard that he was, really. And also the action scenes themselves, despite of how abrupt that they might have, a couple of them might have felt, the action scenes by themselves were still pretty fun to watch. And all in all, I just really recommend go checking out this movie. And what do I have to say? Oh yes, tomorrow, that being Saturday afternoon, me and Loudmouth Reviews are going to be planning on doing a live stream to do a fuller review of this movie, so you don't want to miss that. I think I'm gonna like stream it on my channel, and he's definitely gonna stream it on his channel as well. So don't miss out on that for a fuller, panned out like thoughts that we both had to say about the movie. And yeah, what do I gotta say? Real 8 out of 10. That's my opinion of how I would rate this movie. I think that's the same that I rated the part 1. I only just barely like part 2 less than I did part 1. But anyway, cannot wait to go on that live stream with Loudmouth to talk about the movie some more. So, thank you all for watching. See you later, and good night and God bless.